I'm going to review a 2025 fantasy football draft I did tonight. This is my longest standing league. I've been in this league since about either 2002 or 2003. It's a pretty competitive league. It's a 3 receiver league with 1 flex, standard scoring, 12 team. And you might recognize some names from the After Dark show. You'll see what we did in these 16 rounds. Before I get into everything, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. We have fantasy football rankings, cheat sheets, sleepers, busts, anything you need for your fantasy league at 2026 and 2027 NFL mock drafts. We have NFL picks against the spread. We went 9-2-1 against the spread in the preseason. So looking forward to week 1. We grade every signing, we grade every trade. We have power rankings. So it's all free at walterfootball.com. Yeah, there are a lot of ads, but you can pay for an ad-free version. It's a small fee, but otherwise you can visit for free. And we have so much content every single day. So make sure you visit walterfootball.com. Let's review this. Let's talk about the good picks, the bad picks, and the picks I made. I had the 11th pick, and like I said, you might recognize some names. A Big Reds Bunch is Jacob Kamiker, who used to be the co-host on the Walter Football After Dark show, and then Tea Party Express is Kenny, who is our co-host on Wednesday night, and Dr. Doom is sorry, this keeps flashing. Dr. Doom is Armac on the After Dark show. So lots of guys here, and also Party 5 was a Jew who appeared last Monday. So first round was Saquon, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, Ashton Genty. I don't think anything out of the ordinary. No bad picks except for McCaffrey. I just think that he's going to be injured with his chronic Achilles tendonitis in both feet. It's just big risk, and the reward is he's going to score just as many points as some of the other running backs in the first round. So I didn't like that. Party of 5, a Jew. Sorry, this keeps flashing on the screen. Party of 5 sniped Bucky Irving for me. He got to hear how much I liked Bucky Irving on the show that we did last Monday. So he took him, and because he knew he wasn't going to come back to him. So Chase Brown is my RB5 in standard. Bucky's my RB4. So wasn't really too upset about it, but still, I was a little surprised. And then I was like, oh, okay, of course, it's a Jew taking him for me. All right, so round 2, we have Nico Collins, Devon Achane. As my pick. Achane's my RB6. I think he has so much upside. Yeah, a little more injury risk than some running backs because he's small, but he doesn't really have that history of injury risk. So he was pretty clean last year. I don't think he only missed 1 game, so I'm not too concerned about it. Anyway, Josh Jacobs, AJ Brown, Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Jane Daniels. A little early for Jane Daniels. Son Goku is someone who he has had some success in this league, but he sometimes takes players a little too early. Like he took Brian Thomas Jr. 4th round last year, which Thomas is awesome for him, but the little too early, for example. So I think like he took Daniels a little too early here, but you could argue he wouldn't have fallen back to him in round 3. Kyron Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Brian Thomas Jr., the aforementioned one, and then Puka Nacua. Again, like no real bad picks. If I had to assign one bad pick here, I don't know why this is tried to reconnect. The only like pick I wasn't a fan of is Jonathan Taylor, just because he has an injury history and he's gonna be running behind the worst offensive line in his career, but he's still a really good player, and so he could still perform well for Dr. Doom. But I mean, really, nothing really stood out to me. It's like bad in this round. Round 3, we're gonna see some bad picks, I promise you. Round 3, Lamar Jackson, James Cook, Jalen Hurts, Brock Bowers, Lad McConkey, Emeka Ibuka. Son Goku again, like. I probably could have gotten Ibuka in the 4th round. Definitely not the 5th. I'm very high on Ibuka. I love Ibuka. I've been all over him since like May, just because I'm for a lot of reasons. But Chris Godwin, I suspected the whole time he'd be out until like November. So I think Ibuka, he's going to be good for Son Goku, but he kind of hurt his value by taking him in round 3. Then we have Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill, Jackson Smith, and Jibba, Travion Henderson, and Marion Hampton. So I love Travion Henderson. I think he's going to have a massive year. I think he's going to be the 3-down back for the Patriots eventually. Maybe not like the first few weeks, but eventually he will be, and I think he could be a league winner. So again, like nothing too bad in this round. I know Son Goku reached for Ibuka, but at least he reached for a good player. So nothing really stands out to me as bad once again. But like I said, we'll see some bad picks. I promise you. All right, so Marvin Harrison Jr., Cortland Sutton, Terry McLaurin, Chuba Hubbard. So real fast on my pick as Cortland Sutton. I think he's going to have a massive year. He's going to be targeted so much in Denver. I prefer him in PPR, but standard, he's going to have a great year as well. Marvin Harrison Jr. Almost felt to me that was going to be pretty close to me, almost a toss up. So glad I didn't have to make that decision. We had Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Walker, Alvin Kamara, Tony Pollard, James Conner, DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift. Dr. Doom said, he's like, Walt, you're going to hate this pick. And I do. I think that Kamara late in the year is just really going to get shut down. The Saints are going to be awful this year. And, Kamara's 30 and he has an injury history. So if I'm the Saints and this new coaching staff that's not going to get fired, they could be like, okay, Alvin, you've been great for us for so long. We're going to give some of the young guys a look because we're not going to be in the playoffs. We're like 2-12 at this point. We want you fresh for next year when we're going to be more competitive. Like I see them saying that to him. He may not be happy about it, but I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not a big fan of Kenneth Walker either. Like all these running backs, once you get past Henderson and Hampton, they're just so underwhelming. Like Breece Hall is going to be sharing the workload with Braylon Allen, so I really don't like him in round 4. James Conner is 30, and he himself said they're going to be sharing touches with Trey Benson. So I really just can't get behind it. Okay, so round 5 we have Zay Flowers, Devontae Smith, Ricky Pearsall. That broke my heart. I love Pearsall. Baker Mayfield, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Shakir, Trey McBride, Xavier Worthy, George Kittle, RJ Harvey, Travis Hunter, and Mike Evans. So I want Travis Hunter. I think he's going to be such an explosive receiver for the Jaguars. Even though he's the number 2, like that's going to be a high octane offense, and it's going to be like the Bengals offense almost not as potent, but like more so like Joe Burrow targets Chase and Higgins so much that he's just going to focus on the 2 guys, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. I also like the tight end Brenton Strange, but still like Hunter is going to play a lot of offense. Don't be worried about the defense. He's going to play maybe like 25% of defensive snaps. It's not going to be a big deal. I think the worst pick in this round is Baker Mayfield. I think by a mile. It's close with another one. So Baker Mayfield way too early in round 5. I think he should be going like round 8, round 9. I think he's going to regress a little bit this year. You have Godwin's injured. Evans is 32 and his hamstring issues. Jalen McMillan's injured until week 10. Kate Otton's injured, and his offense coordinator's gone. Like, there's just a lot going against Baker, and also his left tackle is going to be out for a couple weeks. I love Ibuka, but Baker Mayfield should not be going round 5. That's just too early. And the Khalil Shakir just really doesn't give you much upside, especially in standard scoring. Like PPR, I can at least get the argument to take him around 5. I think that's still way too early. But in standard, man, that's such a reach by Son Goku. I don't like that pick at all. Shakir is not a number 1 receiver. He might be the number 1 receiver in Buffalo, quote unquote, but he doesn't profile as a number 1 receiver. Sorry about that keeps popping up. The ESPN just sucks. Let me stay in this window. Stop trying to reconnect. All right, so round 6 we have Tedero McMillan, Rome Odunze. That was my pick. It might be like Rome Odunze over DJ Moore. Well, Odunze is more talented than Moore. Think about where they were drafted. DJ Moore was taken in the mid-20s in his draft. Odunze was the 9th overall pick in an absolutely loaded draft that went QB, and lots of more QBs. Charlie Campbell talked to a bunch of teams, and they had Odunze very close to Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. That's how good he is. I think he's going to take over the number 1 duties in Chicago. And DJ Moore himself said he's going to take a back seat this year. I think he knows the writing's on the wall for Odunze. He's just going to be a monster this year. Then we have Isaiah Pacheco, Patrick Mahomes, Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, Dave Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Aaron Jones, DJ Moore, and Jerry Jeudy. Not a fan of Jeudy. He's going to be fine early with Joe Flacco, but Joe Flacco is not going to last as the starter. Like, they have 2 rookies they need to see to determine what they're going to do in the next draft. They have to see if either Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders is the future. I don't think they are going to be, but they still have to see it. And so Judy's not going to be nearly as good when those guys take the field to struggle. So I think 6th round is just way too early for Jeudy there. Round 7, we start Travis Kelce. Speaking of too early, Travis Kelce hasn't done anything in the regular season in two years. I know he lost weight and everything, but I think that's for his modeling more than anything. Seems like checked out of football. Then we have Tank Bigsby, Jawan Jennings, Matthew Golden, Nick Chubb, Brian Robinson Jr. Son Goku broke my heart there. I bashed some of Son Goku's picks. I was very saddened to see Brian Robinson Jr. go because, like I said before, McCaffrey's almost certain to miss a lot of games this year because of his chronic Achilles tendonitis, and Robinson is just going to take his place. At least we assume. It could be Guerrero. I know Kyle Shanahan said it's going to be Robinson, but do you really believe what Kyle Shanahan says? Like a year ago, a year ago, he said there's a chance that McCaffrey could play week 1, and he didn't play till November. So Tyron Tracy, good pick there. Jalen Warren, Deebo Samuel. I was going to take Samuel had he fallen to me. He did not. And then Bo Nix. So I took Zach Charbonnet. Maybe slightly a little too early in most drafts, but given that there's so many people in this league who know what I like, there's no way Charbonnet was going to fall back to me in the 9th round, or maybe even 802. But still, Charbonnet, I think, is the better of the Seattle running backs. I think he's better than Kenneth Walker. We saw the difference there last year. Walker always gets hurt so much. Charbonnet's just more proven at this point, and I think there's a chance Walker gets traded at the trade deadline because it's contract year. And J.K. Dobbins at the end. There, around 8, we have Jalen Waddle, George Pitt. So I said this in our Zoom meeting when we were drafting. I don't think I've ever drafted George Pickens this year, and not in any mock draft, not in any best ball draft, not in any real draft. I just never got him because he always went round 4, round 5. He was here in round 8. I couldn't believe it. Like at some point you have to take this guy. Now I gave up Tyler Warren for him. I thought maybe there's a chance Warren was going to be my pick because we saw some tight ends fall. And by the way, I forgot to mention Trey McBride fell to Dr. Doom in round 5, and then Kittle, same thing. Like, I mean, that is the steal of the draft. McBride in round 5. That's crazy, but it's not like tight ends have a penalty here. You know, that's just great value. So I thought, given that McBride and Kittle both fell, I thought maybe Warren would fall to me too, but that was not the case. Party of 5 took him. That was a great pick. Ramondre Stevenson and Jordan Addison. Interesting that Addison went before Rashee Rice. You usually see Rashee Rice go. That was another guy I was considering too. When Dr. Doom took him, he's like, this is a stupid pick, but I actually like the pick a lot. If he's your 4th receiver, and I actually don't know Dr. Doom's breakdown of his team, I suppose I could look right now. If that's his 4th receiver, then it's worth it. Well, this is 3rd receiver, so he's going to have to start Stephon Diggs, I suppose. But Diggs may not be 100% coming off the 20 ACL. So my stance on Rashee Rice is that you could take him around 7 or so if he's your 4th receiver. Assuming you start 3 receivers. If you only start 2 receivers, he can be your 3rd receiver. You don't want him as a slated starter, but if he's your backup anyway, he's not going to play in the first 2 weeks anyway, right? So if he's your top backup, you're going to have him starting week 7 onward, and he's going to be a beast for you. But if he's in your starting lineup, just based on where you drafted him, then that's when you're asking for trouble. So we got TJ Hawkinson, Jacoby Myers, Caleb Johnson, Mark Andrews, Chris Olave, Jordan Mason. Olave's a walking concussion, so I'm not a huge fan, but he's, like, talent-wise, he deserves to be around 8. The problem is if he gets concussed just once, he's going to be out for a month at least. It's just based on what I've heard doctors talk about. It's really unfortunate, but that's true. It's what's going to happen. So he's not on my draft list until like round 10 or so. Round 9, we have Michael Pittman Jr., Jaden Reed, Braylon Allen. I love Braylon Allen's a great pick. Keon Coleman, Kyler Murray, Darnell Mooney. We know if Mooney's going to play. His coach was asked if he's going to play this year or when he's going to come back. And his coach said, Raheem Morris said, he'll come back at some point this year. So we just don't know what that means. The way it's Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp. I hate Cooper Kupp. I would not even draft him in the 16th round. It's just an awful pick. He can't separate. He's done. He has nothing left. The Rams gave up on him. The Rams have loved him for so many years. They just gave up on him. He didn't even play in the playoffs. He barely played. So why take him in round 9 or any round? He's going to catch 2 or 3 passes each week for 30 yards, and that's it. We have Bashal Tootin, nice sleeper there. Chris Godwin, don't take Chris Godwin. He's going to be out till November, and we don't have an IR spot in this league. If you have an IR spot, I can see it, but we don't. Drake May, I love Drake May. I was actually considering between May and Purdy, but I didn't end up Pearsall. So I'm actually pairing May with Henderson. Even usually you don't want to stack quarterback and running back because they negative correlate, but like Trevion Henderson's going to catch like 80 passes this year. I mean, not 80, like 60 or 70 passes this year. So Drake May, that's one of his main targets. So I like that correlation. I love May this year. I think his upside's through the roof. Round 10 is we begin with Austin Eckler. Very, very low upside there. there's with this again, this is not PPR, so don't bother with Eckler. Dante Thornton. Speaking of upside, this guy is going to be the receiver one on the Raiders. He and Calvin Johnson are the only receivers in combine history who are their size and ran a 4.3. And he's made great plays throughout the summer and training camp. Preseason, he had this great back shoulder touchdown. This guy's gonna be a stud. I love him. I think he's gonna be awesome this year. Anyway, Josh Downs, Rashid Shaheed, another solid pick there. Trey Benson, Dylan Sampson, Jane Blue, Javonte Williams, Cam Scatabo, Ollie Gordon. That broke my heart. I was hoping Gordon would fall to me. He looks so good in the preseason. Justin Herbert and Jerome Ford. So I'm not big on Cam Scatabo, but once we get to round 10, you're looking for high upside guys, and maybe Scatabo has some upside. I know he's the third running back on the Giants, which doesn't sound great. So I think the worst pick here is easily Eckler. Like he's just not going to do anything for Philly dilly. And Jerome Ford, not a big fan of him either, just because he's not going to last too long as the starter there. And do you really want the starting running back in the Browns? I don't. Round 11, we have Dak Prescott, Keenan Allen, and then we get to the defenses. Don't take defenses this early. Come on, guys. Eagles defense, Broncos defense, Stafford, Texans defense, Jaden Higgins, Ray Davis. Nice sleeper there. I was going to consider Ray Davis. Actually, I had him on queue. I think it was going to take him. Marquise Brown, Will Shipley, another guy. So I had Davis and Shipley on queue. They both went. Shipley is an outstanding pick too. Then Keaton Mitchell. If Derrick Henry goes down, he's 31. I know he's been very durable in his career, but he's 31 now. If he goes down, Mitchell's going to have a monster year. Then Algier, you can say the same thing with him and Bijan Robinson. Round 12, we have Evan Ingram. Then I took Tucker Kraft. I was actually going to take Ingram, but Philly, dilly, stolen from me. Kraft, I like to think about all the injuries the Packers have at receiver. Jane Reed's hurt. Christian Watson's out. I know Dontavian Wicks is banged up. Kraft is just going to benefit from that. He's going to get more targets, more receptions. So big fan of him in round 11 or 12. Troy Franklin, like that pick. I was actually going to take Franklin in the 13th round. That was a nice pick there. Rashad White, David Njoku, Travis Etienne. There's a kerfuffle when Etienne was on the board because Kenny hates Etienne more than anyone in the world. But it's round 12. Why not take a dart throw? Like maybe Etienne's traded to the Cowboys, and because we know he's on the trade block, and Dallas needs a running back. So that actually would work out pretty well for Dr. Zoo. All right, so CJ Stroud, Xavier Legette. Not a fan of Legette, not too much upside there. Najee Harris, who may not be able to have any depth perception. That's a tough one. Christian Kirk is no upside. Don't take him. Joe Mixon, the falling knife. He may not play this year, and there's no IR spot. So is Kenny really going to hold on to him for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks? I don't know, Kenny. I think you're going to cut him by then. And then Brandon Ayuk, same thing. Ayuk's not going to play till November. We don't have an IR spot. Don't draft these guys. Round 13, we have 4 more rounds to go. We have Woody Marks, Colson Loveland. That's a good pick. Jordan Love, Cedric Tillman, Steelers defense, Rashad Bateman, Kendry Miller, Ravens defense, Caleb Williams, Vikings defense, Isaac Tesla, and DJ Giddens. I took Tesla, and I like the Giddens pick too, but Tesla is a high upside receiver, so explosive in the preseason. He looked fantastic. And he's the third receiver now. If one of St. Brown or Jameson Williams goes down, I think he's going to have a great year. So he's someone to watch out for in the late rounds. I added him to my sleepers page recently. Round 14, Jared Goff. I took Keandre Lambert Smith, and I said, sorry, Kenny, because he has Justin Herbert and he has Keenan Allen. I thought he was trying to assemble a Charger stack. I actually didn't know if he was going to take Lambert Smith. I don't know if he was on Kenny's radar, but then Kenny was like, yeah, you took my guy. And he seemed pretty pissed. But I've been talking him up the whole summer. How can I not take him? It's not like I stole him from Kenny. So anyway, Packers defense, Marvin Mims. I hate Marvin Mims is not a real player. Don't take him. Wan'Dale Robinson, Luther Burden, Damari Douglas, Dallas Goedert, Jake. Then we get kickers for some reason. Jake Bates, Tyler Bass, Jalen Wright. We don't know when he's going to return. That's he could be out for a while. And then Joshua Palmer. Round 15, we have Brandon Aubrey, Lions defense, Tanner McKee. I don't know what this was about. This is an Eagles fan, sure. Is he gonna how long is he gonna roster Tanner McKee, hoping that Jalen Hurts gets hurt? That's pretty wild. Quinshon Judkins, the other falling knife. He's not signed and he's going to be suspended. But when he returns, we could see good production. Maybe. I mean, it's the Browns, so maybe not. But still, he's talented. 15th round, why not? Chase McLaughlin, Cameron Dicker, Arizona defense, Dr. Doom stole my defense as the anti-Saints play. Damian Pierce, Bills defense, JJ McCarthy. I took the Dolphins defense. They have a good pass rush, and they're playing against Daniel Jones in week one. And we know Daniel Jones could get rattled. The Colts offensive line is not good anymore. The potential for Miami's defense to be pretty good week one, and then I'm going to dump them. And then Patriots defense after that. Round 16, the final round. I got sniped with a kicker. I couldn't believe it. I had Cam Little all queued up, ready to go, and then he went, and then I was on the clock. I'm like, wait, where'd Cam Little go? I couldn't believe someone took my kicker. It's like never happened to me. But Cam Little went. I took Jake Elliott, who cost me money in the Rams game in the playoffs because he missed the extra point, and so the Eagles won by 6 instead of 7. So I feel like Jake Elliott owes me. So hopefully he does well for me in this league. We have Matt Gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Harrison Butker, Tyler Loop, Chris Boswell, Jake Ferguson, Seahawks defense, Michael Wilson, Kareem Hunt, Evan McPherson, and last but not least, the Chiefs defense. So that is our draft here. Let me know how I did. Did I miss any other terrible picks? What are some of the best picks? Please let me know because I would love to win my 4th championship in this league. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walserfootball.com for tons of content, all free. And I'll talk to you in the next video.